You have Mel, who has the power to freeze things. Macy, who has the power of telekinesis. And Maggie, who can read minds. That's so cool. Whoa, wait, am I reading my own thoughts? Oh, I'm just thinking. Hey guys, it's Kristen, and today we are talking about the Charmed reboot pilot. That's right, I went to PaleyFest's fall TV preview and I got to see an early screening of the Charmed reboot, and I am very excited to talk about it with you today. The Charmed reboot opens with two sisters, Mel and Maggie Vera, played by Melanie Diaz and Sarah Jeffrey. Mel is a feminist, a lesbian, a graduate student, and Maggie is a freshman attempting to rush a sorority. Their mom is the head of the women's studies department at the university, and she's trying to stop the reinstatement of a professor who was accused of sexually assaulting a student. Coincidentally, she's mysteriously attacked in her home, and Mel and Maggie return to find her dead. Is there some kind of connection there? The show fast forwards 3 months and we get to see the first-hand damage that her death has caused. Mel is obsessed with figuring out what happened to her mom. She is obsessed with trying to protest this professor.
Obsessed? Yes, obsessed. Because I'm not just moving on like nothing happened. That's not fair.
She has cut everyone out of her life. She's just very closed off. Then you have Maggie, who's just trying to get through life. She's still rushing the sorority. The girls just are harboring a lot of resentment. They each think the other blames the other, but really, they're the ones blaming themselves. Soon we meet the brilliant scientist Macy Vaughn, who is played by Madeline Mantock, and she reveals to Mel and Maggie that she is their long-lost half-sister. That is when all the magic happens. Lightning strikes, the power of 3 is activated, and the girls start developing their powers. You have Mel, who has the power to freeze things, Macy, who has the power of telekinesis, and Maggie, who can read minds. And we also meet their white lighter Harry, played by Rupert Evans.
Hello, ladies. You are witches.
There's a little bit of mistrust there, though, because even though he's supposed to be their guide, he also replaced their mom as the head of the women's studies department, so it's like, suspicious. The girls now know they're witches. They are dealing with demons as they try to decide, though, do they want to be witches? Do they want to embrace that power of 3 or just give it up? And I think it's safe to say, you know, obviously the show is a full season, so we already know the girls are going to embrace their destiny. But is Charmed really all it's cracked up to be? Let's dive into the good and the bad. First of all, I was really excited to see there are definitely some Easter egg call-outs to the original Charmed in this series. I mean, first of all, the premise in general is these young women coming together, learning that they're witches after they lose a motherly type figure in their life. Macy comes into the picture in a similar way to how Paige came into the picture on the original. Mel has a cop ex-girlfriend, just like Prue had a cop ex-boyfriend. The house and the attic actually look kind of similar to the Halliwell Manor, and the attic is again a space where all of the magic happenings go on. They have a Book of Shadows, and actually there was a page in the Book of Shadows where they mentioned Melinda Warren. So there definitely is some type of connection there. They also used a Ouija board in this episode like they did in the original pilot. Those are just a few things that I noticed, so if you find any more, feel free to leave them in the comments. Let's continue. So I think the Sisterhood definitely seems like it's going to be really strong in the show. They picked 3 girls who really have a lot of chemistry together. I think each one has their own distinct personality as well, and I'm just excited to see them grow as sisters and grow as witches and come into their powers more, and I think it's just going to be really fun to see these strong Latin women come together. This show definitely brings a great mix of horror and humor. There were definitely some jump scares in there that I actually really jumped a little bit and was like, oh, okay. But I think the humor actually could use a little bit of work. There were some things that were funny. I thought Harry the White Lighter brought a great energy there, but there were some other moments that were just a little bit cheesy. And executive producer Jessica O'Toole even said that there's a demon coming up that takes over people's Fitbits. So I don't know, that kind of just seems chock full of cheese to me. Let's get into the feminism aspect of the show. I know that's something that people took offense to when this show was touted as being fierce, funny, and feminist, as if it was saying that the original show was not. I don't think that's true. Both shows definitely are, but I think the reason that they called this show feminist is because they really do shout out all of the different political issues that they're talking about and bring it to light in a very obvious way, whereas I feel like the original Charmed was a little bit more subdued. Like the feminism was at the heart of it. I will admit I do think some of Mel's feminist dialogue was a bit forced. I don't think you should need a character to be screaming, "I'm a feminist! Consent!" from the rooftops in order to get that across. I think there was a lot of telling instead of showing us some of those ideals. Regardless, they did tackle some important issues like consent and the Me Too movement that I was really excited to see them talk about, and I can't wait to see what else they're going to touch upon in the series. Another thing I want to talk about is the science versus magic, and also getting into some of the demons we meet in this first episode. So I will tell you right now, there are definitely going to be spoilers coming up in this half of the review, so if you don't want to be spoiled, please save this video, come back after you've watched the first episode, and if you don't care about spoilers, let's just continue on. I will give you a few seconds right now to make your decision, spoilers or no spoilers. So, as Macy is a scientist, obviously she's coming at witchcraft with a scientific mind. In the first episode, we even get to see them use that scientific knowledge to defeat their first demon. That's pretty cool, but this is a show about witches. So I want to see some magic, and I definitely feel like we did not get enough magic in this first episode. So I'm hoping that we get to see a lot more, including them figuring out their powers and things like that, but no, I want more magic. And the magic that we did get just seemed like it was too easy. Like, it was too easy to defeat a demon. Like, how can it be that easy? So it turns out that the second demon they come across is actually that crappy professor who sexually assaulted somebody. Yeah, he's a demon. The girls all come together, Mel freezes time, they use it to basically become full witches and figure out what the spell is they're gonna use against him, but the whole time, this demon is just frozen, standing there. They're using the spell on him, and he's not moving, he's not fighting back, and then he's defeated, and that's it. Is that how easy it is to kill all the demons? They could just freeze them and then kill them and then it's over? It was just anticlimactic, it seemed too simple, I thought it was a trick at first. I just wish that there was more action, more magic, and more action. That is what I need. Next up is another big spoiler. It's gonna be about the cliffhanger at the end of this episode. So this is just another friendly warning to you that a spoiler is coming. Okay, so as we already mentioned, the girls use a Ouija board and end up talking to their mom, who tells them to not trust Harry. He orbs in and the episode ends. What? What do you mean we can't trust Harry? Don't trust Harry? He's the guy that they're supposed to trust. What did they do now? So of course this opens up a whole slew of questions now. Why can't they trust Harry? Is Harry really not Harry? Like, is he a demon who is trying to trick them for some evil reason? Or is there a Harry, but the Harry that they're with is not the real Harry? He's a demon in disguise and also trying to trick them? I don't know. What is going on? And now there's millions of more questions, because what about that girl who was in the coma who accused the professor of sexual assault? Is she gonna continue having a storyline, or was that it? Is it over because the demon's defeated? Why did the mom give up Macy? And who killed the mom? There's so many questions. There's a lot of questions. Overall thoughts, I had fun, but I gotta admit, I was expecting a little bit more. You know, this is from the team that made Jane the Virgin. They're the ones that got the CW their first Golden Globe. So, you know, the bar is raised pretty high. I'm hoping that things were just a little bit wobbly because this is the first episode of a new series. You know, this is coming from a franchise that people know and love. There's a lot to live up to. I think the show needs to continue to find its own footing, but I do see a potential there. I love the Sisterhood, and I think that there are a lot of hints of mysteries to come that are really fun. I do feel optimistic about this show, and I am excited to watch it this fall when it premieres on October 14th on the CW. We're getting a chance to expand the Charmed universe and share the story of 3 strong Latina women who are discovering who they are and saving innocent people in their little college town. I think if given the chance, this show could be really good. I would love to know what you guys think about the Charmed reboot, so make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and click that subscribe button because I come out with new videos every week. See ya!